Welcome to the podcast where two guys talk about stuff and drink coffee.
You can't handle the truth!
This is the Coffee with Phil and Jim podcast.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
And now for your listening enjoyment.
Hey everybody, Phil here with the Coffee with Phil and Jim podcast, and across from me is
Jimmy Nick.
back in the studio for another episode. Don't forget to search, subscribe, and share. We've got some really cool things to talk about today, and one thing that will challenge your faith, hopefully, that I just saw this morning. But before we do, we want to throw out the blog this week, chilloutandserve.com. Make sure to please, if you are looking at that, to make sure to go ahead and stick your email in there and get all the updates as they go. It does really help, especially if you're not part of our church, because we always send out text messages, and it's on our Facebook as well, when a new one comes out. But if you're not, and you're somewhere else in the world, and you read it occasionally, I would highly suggest that you put your email in at chilloutandserve.com and get those alerts as well.
Right. This week he talked about the difference. And a lot of that he's talked about attitude, one's attitude towards all this. So, attitude makes a big difference in everything that we do.
It really does.
Whether we're doing it for ourselves or even doing it for the Lord. Are we fully into giving it all over to Jesus Christ, as far as I'm concerned, totally surrendering to it. And
What do you think that entails, total surrender to Jesus?
Totally just seek his will in everything you do, how you spend your money, everything. Just it's his. It's anyway.
Okay.
So why not just give it all to him and ask him, what do you want me to do today, Lord? What do you want me to go today? And if it's okay to go here and do this, and check it out, Because you may say, hey, don't go there today. You don't go.
Yeah. Well, and part of the will of God is to not have an attitude, and to...
Well, when you realize it's all his anyway, and we're just here because he said we could be, to start with, and then salvation came through Jesus Christ. It's only by his grace are we saved anyway. Without that, we're all headed to hell anyway. So, and there's no change in that. So, it makes a big difference how you feel about it, the way you approach the Lord. Here, Lord, I'm here. I want to know what you want, what you want me to do, And that's the way we should live our lives, seeking him out in everything,
Yeah.
People, well, you don't ask him for the small things, you ask him for everything,
Yeah,
It's all his
absolutely.
anyway.
It is, and to stay in his will, obviously, you need to do that.
Right,
So
because you can go down and start out, and you might say, well, I'll just go ahead. Might head down a rabbit trail you regret, so,
yeah.
Well, that can be.
Yeah, been there, done that.
Hey, I noticed you got some coffee this morning here from the Whataburger.
That is correct.
That's that old Texas outfit, isn't it?
Yes, it is. That's why it is incredible. But we just recently have a Whataburger opened up in our city near us, and that is an amazing thing for food-wise, but terrible for my bank account. So
Tell me about it.
But either way, I went there this morning to grab us some coffee before recording the pod, and this is actually fresh coffee.
Right.
You can't really tell the temperature though, because it is like 2 degrees outside.
Lovely.
So the transference from restaurant to
That's
here.
no problem. In fact, I think I'd take this coffee over just about any of them we've had so far.
Okay.
Starbucks or Casey's or Domino's or even the house brand here.
Okay, that's good to hear.
I like this, their coffee. I guess I went there yesterday. Yesterday's my first time going there.
Okay.
Pam wanted to go there. She's not really knows Whataburger. I mean, you grow up in Texas, but you didn't go to Whataburger. What's wrong with you?
You're really not from Texas then, I'm just saying.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
But anyway, I went over. I got me a double meat with cheese. I went home and I sat down there and I bit into that and started eating that. And I thought, man, this is manna from heaven. I died and gone to heaven.
It's good, right?
Oh, that was delicious.
Yes, sir.
And I thought, man, I've been laying off that too long. So we had a bad experience back in the COVID time. We went to that one over on 36 MacArthur. And
Oh, yeah.
That's the first time she ever been to one. And they weren't very good.
Well, and that really, there are Whataburger standards at locations, but I don't think that's one of the best locations, especially if you're trying to get back into it.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
but
That one over there, but this one up here, I mean, wow.
yeah.
I thought, man,
And the crazy thing is they're still training. Now, I will tell you, goodness. I had a horrible experience this morning at Whataburger, but it was at no fault of Whataburger. And so I'll briefly tell you my experience because this also gets into the attitude idea as well. But so I get in there and I walk in. I don't go through drive-through, and I walk in and I say, "Yes, I need 2 large coffees." Absolutely. The young lady at the counter said, "Well, we're brewing some more, so it'll be about 4, maybe 5 minutes." I said, "No worries, I'm not in a rush." So she's okay. So she rings me up, da-da-da. So I'm sitting there and, you know, it's about 5 minutes. Well, I notice in the parking lot, this lady comes out of her car. She's been parked there since I've showed up. She's been there for a while. And she tries to come up through this, she like gets out of her car, slams it.
Yeah.
She walks up to the door. Now, the door on the east side is an emergency door.
Okay.
And so it's really not the entrance.
Right.
But you could use it as entrance, I guess. And there was no alarm on it, but
Yeah.
so she goes up and she's like trying to get da-da-da-da-da. Well, there's an employee, he's sitting there eating. He gets up, you know, he lets her in. She comes in. She starts to bark at the young lady at the front counter saying, "I needed my 2 extra syrups." And she said, "Oh, my apologies." She was very kind to the lady. The lady was very rude to her. Right. Absolutely rude. So she goes back and she goes, "Oh, I didn't get any silverware either. How you expect me to eat without silverware?" And so the young lady grabs, you know, a couple of the syrups, goes over to the condiments area where the lids and the forks and stuff are, grabs some of that, says, "Here, I apologize for that." And she goes, and she got in her face and told her, I told you twice in the drive-thru. I told you twice I needed 2 extra syrups. 2 extra syrups." I'm sitting there going, wow. Well, this young lady, she is like just, you could tell they're all really training up there, you know. And so she's like, "Oh," you know, and I'm going, "Oh my gosh." So she bolts out the door, gets in the car, right? She doesn't leave, she sits in the car.
Right.
Well, the young lady at the counter brings me 1 coffee. She says, "I am so sorry. I'm brewing another deal. We just ran out really quick." I said, "I understand. It's really cold outside. Y'all are kind of busy. No worries." She said, "Okay, thank you." So I'm waiting on the next coffee, sitting there. This other gentleman walks to the front counter. Now, he comes off very nicely, but is very super rude.
Right.
Super, super rude. Because he goes, it's a different young lady. They switched out because the other one's working on the coffee. So this other lady comes up. And he goes, she goes, "Oh, good morning, sir. How can I help you?" And he goes, "Well, I just want to know if the young fellow that made the coffee yesterday is still here. I don't want any of it because it was pure motor oil. I mean, it was thick and I could hardly drink it. And I just wasted a bucket and a half on this." And I'm going, "Holy moly." And she goes, "Well, no, probably not. There's another person making the coffee right now." He goes, "Okay, well, I just tell you because it was horrible. It was pure more." So I had my coffee in my hand, waiting on the other one, waiting on yours. And so I walk up to him and I said, "Sir, I just want to attest the coffee is amazing this morning.
Yeah.
And I believe you'll like it." "Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Thank you for that. Because it was pure motor." I'm like, holy moly, come on, people.
If it was that bad, why'd you come back?
No joke. No joke.
Other than file a complaint, I guess.
Look, I worked in the food service industry for many years, okay? And I even worked at a Whataburger for a small amount of time in transition and stuff. And I will tell you, either way, there's no need to be rude like that.
Right.
I don't care if they got your order wrong. There's no need to be rude. Well, I'm paying for this. But they're people, they're making mistakes. And if you notice, they're probably super busy.
They are super busy.
You know?
I noticed that when I drove around and came down Country Club there this morning. Whataburger's all busy and everything, you know, and
Yeah.
Burger King was empty, and McDonald's was real busy.
Yeah.
And, even went by there, and it's kind of silent over at the
I don't know how Burger King's going to
Brahms.
last.
Brahms.
I have no idea.
There wasn't
but-
nobody at Brahms. I think there's one car in the window there. For that, so.
So, moral of the story, don't be rude to anybody.
Right. I mean, people are, I don't know, that's to them that's a sense of entitlement. I know if you don't like
Sure,
the
yeah.
product, don't go back, you know. Go get your coffee down the street. There's every one of them sells coffee. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, get coffee from your house. Do something if you really want coffee that bad. Now, let's talk about the coffee real quick. The Whataburgers coffee, according to their website, is a new coffee. Is a premium blend of 100% beans. The balanced but flavorful mix was created for Whataburger using beans from Colombia, Honduras, and Nicaragua. Whataburger iced coffee blend has the bold aroma of dark roasted coffee round out by a blend of nutty, smoky, and toasted flavor notes and vibrant finish. If you prefer a traditional steaming cup of joe, the new Whataburger hot coffee, both regular and decaf, has the classic aroma of a medium roast hot brewed coffee, medium body, smooth finish, and flavor notes of citrus and brown sugar. Even better, it's available all day, every day, eliminating the coffee that exists after midnight in most cities. Piping hot or iced cold, both coffees are the perfect companion to Whataburger sweet and savory menu items. Get your morning motivation with the classic hot coffee and cinnamon roll, which cinnamon rolls are amazing. Or energize your afternoon with an iced vanilla coffee and fries, which that's interesting, but I may try that one day.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds like Whataburgers. We've been eating that around here for a long time.
Oh man, I'm telling you.
Good to have it in town.
I'm telling you.
And it's busy, so I guarantee you they'll probably stick around for a long time, hopefully.
Yeah.
You know, so it puts the rest of the other burger joints kind of like, you know.
Well, and the very fact that they're still busy. And okay, I'm going to throw this caveat out there too, because Whataburger is not like any other fast food in the fact that, you know, like 98% of their food products is actually real. You know, I mean, it's real stuff. Like
Right.
even the eggs are real.
Right.
I remember having to crack eggs every time I make any kind of taquito or bob or something. But they make it fresh.
Right, them
So-
burgers, that burger I got yesterday was hot and fresh
Yes.
and delicious, juicy. Oh, it was good. Had everything on it. You got it all.
It's amazing.
It's good, yeah. Make me hungry. Had to go back up there.
You're like, hey Pam, I'm gonna go walking around Walmart today.
Yeah.
Go get you a Whataburger.
Yeah, the problem is my old ticker can't take one every day. If it could, I would. I don't know, my wallet couldn't take it.
Yeah, I
Got a
mean,
little steep nowadays. isn't it?
inflation hadn't helped that, and Whataburger. I mean, Whataburger is you kind of get what you pay for, I think.
Right.
But yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does get very expensive.
Yeah, they hit you for 75 cents a slice on the cheese, man.
Yes.
So, whoa.
Now I will tell
Bring my
you,
own cheese.
Whataburger is not a sponsor of this podcast.
Right.
It's not. So just want to throw out there, but they do have a Whataburger app that you have to scan off your phone. You need to scan it before you check out. I learned that this morning. So, but you can get all kinds of stuff with points. You get from chocolate chip cookies to apple pies to biscuits to juice and drinks, fries, coffees, biscuits and gravy, all that stuff. And then you can go into Whataburger Juniors and Whataburgers. 1,000 points is a Whataburger.
1,000 points just to get a Whataburger. What about a double meat or the triple meat?
The double meat, let's see, triple meat. There's not a triple meat on here, but the double meat Whataburger,
20,000 points.
that's a junior. They don't even have a
They
full
don't even
one.
have it on there.
Hold on. Oh, here we go. Double meat Whataburger. Oh, here it goes. Triple meat Whataburger, no cheese is 1,500 points. So if you can, and I don't know how the point system really works. I don't know if it's like a cent.
That double yesterday, that was a thick old burger. I mean, that's a thick burger. Them triples, I hadn't had one of them a long time.
Did you get fries too or anything? Or you just
I didn't get fries. Pam got fries with her order, but she didn't get the burger. She got that armadillo bacon. I believe that's avocado.
Yeah.
Comes on a Texas toast.
Oh, yeah.
That deal. So she got that. So, but anyway,
Wonderful.
now she saw my burger. She's, ooh, I'd like to have one of them now. So next time she'll probably
Yeah.
want the burger.
That's what you do now is you go, wait, so when did you go? Yesterday you had Whataburger?
Yesterday afternoon, yeah.
So that was Thursday. So what you do, like Sunday after church or something, or Monday or Tuesday next week, you say, you know what sounds good? One of them juicy, thick Whataburgers. Yeah. A double one. Didn't you say you wanted one of those? Let's go get one of those.
But she even liked the fries, so that's good.
Yeah, their fries are really good. I like their fries better than McDonald's fries.
In fact, she wouldn't share them with me. There's some in the bottom of the bag. Hey.
Yeah,
Get out of here.
That's awesome.
I didn't want any. I just wanted the burger. Anyway.
Yeah. That's good times. So Whataburger coffee, you're saying yes.
Yes, definitely. So far, that's the number one.
Okay.
Of the ones we've had.
Good. I'd also, you're probably more taste than anything, and I obviously taste as well. But the presentation. So what we're looking at here is it's a very thick paper cup.
Oh yeah.
It's very durable.
Right.
I like that. And as a coffee drinker on the go, I like that.
Yeah.
So it's a very thick paper cup. The traveler lid is very snug. I like that.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty awesome. So yeah, it's an altogether great cup of coffee.
It says a brew just for you. I like that.
Now, back in the day in Whataburger, they used to have those coffee mugs where if you bought a coffee mug, then you could take it in and you can refill it for a nickel.
Oh, and do that today, huh?
Yeah, and from what I understand,
If you still got one, they'll
they
use
still got
honor
one.
it.
They still honor it.
For a
From my
nickel?
yes.
All right. You got one?
So no, but I always keep
Should
my
have.
I always keep my eye out open, like when I go to like thrift stores
see
and
one
stuff.
there.
Be like,
Always want my coffee.
that's right. Peruse the glass and the housewares. And,
Whataburger cup in there.
yeah, I almost thought I found one time, but it wasn't because it's very existing. It's a Whataburger
I
one.
get that Phil and Jim coffee cup and go back. This is a Whataburger.
There you go.
No, sir.
I wonder if they give us free coffee if we record up there.
I don't know.
You know,
Who knows?
and they're open 24 hours
Yeah,
too.
that's
So
right.
that is fantastic.
That's what I like too. Something
Yes.
there all night.
Yeah.
Something in the middle of the night, you can go get it.
Which I haven't done yet, but I've been threatening my wife that I was going to.
I never have ate their breakfasts. I heard they're really good, but
Oh,
I've never ate the
yes.
breakfast there. In fact, usually when I go to IHOP, generally, well, the last time she got me to go to Neighborhood Jam, that I prefer IHOP. So,
The thing about Neighborhood Jam too is they have their biscuits come out fresh every 20 minutes, you know? And then they have just a plethora of just really great like combinations and stuff. Like last time I went there, I got the huevos rancheros. Oh, delicioso. It was so good. But it can be a wait sometimes, you know? And I've been 3 times. I went 3 times. One, I went with my wife when they first opened, and we got there early enough to where we were able to get in. That was really nice. Then Josh Neves and I went to go meet a friend there and ate. And then for Christmas, someone took me there for Christmas for like a little Christmas present. So
I'm waiting to see what this Waffle House is going to be like when we get that in.
is that going by the Redlands?
Yeah, that's part of the property that Redland sold to them for it. And there's also some kind of automotive deal that's going to go in next to it there.
Okay.
Automotive repair shop.
Oh.
Supposed to come in there.
I saw this morning going to Whataburger, I saw this guy out there, the utilities guy, and he was
Marking.
going to mark and stuff, so.
All right, they're getting ready then.
I guess
Getting
so.
ready to turn some dirt, I guess.
Yeah.
Start working on that. So, yeah, that'd be good. Get that in there. If that's any indication. I don't think they'll ever get a Chick-fil-A in here. That didn't turn out, I guess.
Yeah, I was really hoping for that, because that'd be maybe second or third to Whataburger.
But I've never eaten one.
I'll put it to you this way.
Yeah.
Okay. And this may sound horrible, and somebody can leave me a comment in the comment section, but Chick-fil-A is really good. It really is. But it's just chicken.
Right.
You know? And so, I mean, unless you want chicken, you go there.
Go there, yeah.
And it is kind of expensive.
Right.
You know, it is. It's not a McChicken. It's
Well, back in the day, even then I wasn't out looking for a chicken burger. I wanted a hamburger.
yeah.
Especially one with bacon and chili on it.
Oh, that sounds good too.
It was good. Dairy Queen, the old Dairy Queens that used to be in Oklahoma City, the Dunn's Dairy Queen. They made. I guess he took his chili recipe with him when he closed them all down because the ones that came in after him, the chili wasn't any good. So. But anyway, they made the best chili. I'd go in there and get a chili cheeseburger with bacon on it. They talked about a heart attack waiting to happen.
Yeah. No kidding.
But it was good. Sloppy good.
Yes.
That's the way you like them.
Yes.
Enjoyed those. But
I enjoy a good burger. What's the best burger you've ever had?
actually, I'd probably have to go with the Whataburger.
Really?
Really, I really would because that thing down there at down by Medicine Park over, what's the name of that town down there? Not a town, actually. It's just.
Oh yeah, you recommended it to us. We went down there one time, and it was closed. The actual day we went, but
that's the first time I ever went there. It was
Okay.
closed with my brother-in-law, and then me and Pam went down here this last year, and I think
What
about
is that thing
October or
called?
something. And we went down there and ate, and I was not impressed with it at all. I thought this ain't the best burger in Oklahoma. And she didn't really care for them either. I didn't think they were all that great, but I guess some people like it, and we got what they normally sell to people. So we really didn't. I'm trying to think of the name of that town, but Mears. That's
Mears,
it.
yes.
That's it. But no, I wasn't impressed by that. I'd say Whataburger. Actually, I couldn't believe it. Maybe my taste buds had changed, but when we were going up to Kansas here at Christmas time, that stopped up there at Blackwell, Oklahoma. And, we thought we were going to get some breakfast there at that McDonald's, but it had stopped, so we went ahead and got something to eat. And I got one of their double meat quarter pounders.
Yeah.
With cheese on it, and it was hot. And man, I thought, man, this thing actually tastes good. Kind of surprised me. So that was a pretty good burger then. But I'd have to go back that the only ones that have been memorable would be a Whataburger. So I can't say,
Okay. Well, that's
Brahms makes a good bacon burger.
yeah.
They make a good bacon burger, and there's a place down there at Union City down there, Dairy Mart. Mm-hmm. They make a pretty good burger there. In fact, them people that run that used to go to church with us. So.
Yeah. Well, it is a really small, like, you don't.
Yeah.
You don't go inside to eat, right? You just order
Yeah,
at
I
the
go
window.
inside. I go inside to eat.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I go in there. Yeah. Okay. Every time I gone there, I gone in there.
Okay.
Except when I was a kid, everybody'd pull up there and get that shows you how long that place has been.
Wow.
But go up there and get a ice cream cone.
Okay.
Back in the day, on the way between going back to the city, but stop in there. So, but yeah, I think I've been there since 1950 something. I think. So
Wow.
been there a
Okay.
long
Yeah, it's
time,
been a while, huh?
Yeah, so been there quite a while.
There's I guess it also depends on what, because there's all kinds of burgers out
Right.
there. There's like boutique burgers now, and of course here in El Reno we've got like the Sid's and the Johnny's and the Robert's Onion Burger. that type of stuff. I think one of the best, I mean, like a go-to burger, yes, Whataburger, hands down. But that's the fast food. Like, what about, like, have you ever had like a restaurant burger, like a Chili's or a BJ's Grill or something like that? Or
Yeah, but it's not. It's not memorable.
yeah,
Really, the one I do remember is a place called Across the Street restaurant. It was in Oklahoma City. It was back 100 years ago. But they made a bacon burger with a blue cheese bacon burger, which was like a triple meat kind of deal. And that had to be about one of the best tasting burgers I ever ate in my life. Of course, I've been trying to duplicate that at home and still never got there.
Yeah.
So. I think a lot of it might have to do with the meat too you buy.
sure, yeah.
It has a lot to do with the flavor stuff. So that's where you get your meat. Because a brother got some Brahms meat patties because they were having down at Tuttle. They were having they sold it for to raise money
Oh yeah, okay.
down there at the school. So he got his hands on some of those, and they gave me some. It tastes like eating a Brahms burger. It's because of the flavor of the meat.
Yeah,
Made a big difference.
it really does. There was an old burger joint growing up I used to go to. Is the north side of Fort Worth, out there off River Oaks Boulevard. It was called Griff's, and they didn't take credit card. It was all cash, and it was like old school base menu. You had a single burger, a double burger. You can add cheese or bacon or whatever. They came with mustard, ketchup, and onion.
Yeah.
But you can do whatever you wanted to with it. Fries or onion rings, any kind of soda, and then they had like shakes.
Right.
It was very base menu, but it was so good.
Since you brought that up, that brought back something. We used to go over there, where I grew up at Bethany there, that the drugstore there, in the back, they had a soda fountain, and they sold burgers and hot dogs and stuff too, back there. And man, they made a delicious burger. I will say that. And we used to go in there all the time, growing up, and buy burgers and stuff. And Cokes came in the old Coke glasses and all them kind of stuff back in the day. And yeah, it was really good food there, and it was just a local deal. It wasn't no big deal. It was sadly the way of the soda fountains and drugstores all disappeared, I guess. They had some of the best food, and that's not the only one I ever went in that had good food too. There's one over on Classen that had pretty good burgers and stuff. Right
Okay.
there, so I guess it's just homemade stuff. Sometimes
Yeah.
just pretty
Yeah,
good. I
it
guess
just makes it.
makes it better. So, like I said, a lot of that stuff's engineered. But Whataburger though, they make it. I don't know how they do it. Being as big as they are, that
Yeah,
they maintain that kind of quality. So
it's really, really good. Okay, we're going to do a hard shift here.
okay.
Because there's something that I read this morning that I wanted to talk about, and it is nowhere near coffee and burgers and all this stuff. Matter of fact, it's one of those headlines that I came across in a Newsweek article this morning that is, I don't know, a lot of mixed emotions. And so I'll present it, and we'll see. We'll talk about it, see what you think too. But the headline, it's a Newsweek app, and just came out. It actually came out yesterday, but I saw it this morning. The headline reads, 70 Christians beheaded in church, what we know. And so that caught my attention. And so the article reads, 70 decapitated bodies have been discovered in a church in the war-torn Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC.
Yeah.
This is according to Open Doors, which supports persecuted Christians around the world. An Islamist group linked to Islamic State called the AFD are feared to have beheaded the victims with machetes. And here's what they tell us, what to know about this story here is the 70 decapitated bodies were discovered in a Protestant church in the town of, I don't know if I'm saying this right, Kazanga, in the Lubero territory in the province of North Kivu toward the end of last week. This is according to Open Doors. And so no group has taken responsibility for this, but Open Doors and several other organizations have accused the AFD of the murders, citing field sources. The victims are believed to have been taken hostage, and a few days before they were killed. There was a military administrator said he was investigating the incident, and Pan-African News Agency, this is what they reported. Local sources suspect the Allied Democratic Forces, or ADF, an Islamist group of Ugandan origin affiliated with the Islamic State, as well as local armed groups of being responsible for the massacre. These groups have maintained a climate of terror in the region for several months, the agency said. It said the victims, who had been tied up and decapitated with knives, had been kidnapped on February 12th. And obviously X, formerly known as Twitter, there's all kinds of posts they're sharing and all this stuff. But here's the context they gave us in this news article. The DRC has been in a nearly continuous state of war and conflict for more than 3 decades. But violence has surged recently, namely with the advancement of the March 23 movement, which has captured strategic locations. ADF is another rebel group involved in the violence, and one of the reasons Ugandan forces were recently deployed to eastern Congo to help Congolese troops. So, yeah, I saw that, and I don't know. What do you think about that?
Well, I believe there's 70 souls that's in heaven this morning. They gave their lives for Jesus Christ. So, but that's been going on in the Congo there it's been going on for, I don't know how long, at least the last 50 years I know of. They've always had trouble with that. And in that whole part of Africa there, that Islam has a big hold in there, and they've been killing Christians off for a long time. I think we take what we got going here for granted, like that's the way it is in the rest of the world. These people are giving up their lives for Jesus Christ, and they're dying for it. So. Yeah. I'm sure there's a reward for each and every one of them because they gave their lives for Christ. They probably, because they will want them to deny Christ. If they don't deny Christ, they'll chop your head off.
Yeah.
And otherwise, they'll put a bullet in you, one way or another. So apparently, there wasn't any of those 70 that didn't. So.
Yeah. And yeah, you're right. We take what we have here for granted. The very fact that we can go up to Whataburger and buy a burger,
right,
it's really mind-boggling, the freedoms that we have and we take for granted, and others. Now, specifically as believers,
right?
As someone that is saved and is going to heaven and tries to be a follower of Christ, tries to be a disciple. Yeah, read stories like this, and I'm almost I don't have the words for it.
Right.
But it does bring such a kick in the face, in my face, going, what are you doing?
Right. Well, then it comes back to attitude too, like you say. It's probably, I don't know the deal on that woman or man at the Whataburger this morning, but if either one of them are Christians and they have that attitude or something,
yeah.
And then we don't know how fortunate we truly are, so we look at this and we go complain about a cup of coffee or whether I had some syrup or
yeah,
or some finger food. I'd have told them it's finger food. You don't need
that's
silverware.
Right. Tear it and dip it. Tear it and dip it. Take that pancake, tear it and dip it. Yeah.
But that kind of stuff, and so we take stuff like that for granted. Where these people, it's a life and death situation, probably the whole time they lived their lives as Christian in that part of the world.
Yeah, they
know
go.
It's coming.
That's right. They go into it knowing that as soon as they trust Christ as their Savior, as soon as that happens, their life is on the line,
right.
And that screams so much at me because here in America, man, we are spoiled.
All right.
But not only spoiled, but we're spoiled brats.
Right.
You know, the fact that we have a room that we can do this in, and we can have freedom to do what we're doing here in,
Right.
let alone tell somebody about Jesus. And what are they going to do? Make fun of us?
Yeah.
Oh, you know, you're like, they're going to hurt our feelings.
You know, they're not bringing out the knives. And,
Yeah, exactly.
You know, until you get lost or something, basically, you know.
Yeah.
Or they'll just go along with you and then, but I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, you can't get any real reaction out of them because, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, did you see that article I sent you?
Yes.
On that in Texas down there?
Yeah, and there's a lot more of that.
And, you know, it's really sad that's going on out there. I read it's the United Church of Christ. And that's the fourth largest congregation in that denomination. It had over 4,000 members in that. And they refer to themselves as liberal Christians. And from what was going on in there, as you saw in the article, that I don't think you could use Christ's name in any of that. So, and then people have a bad idea of what their real hope is, and it's not in.
Yeah.
You know, it all based upon love. How could you punish anybody if you really love them? You know, I think a lot of that goes back to the generation that's coming up. That parents quit spanking their kids for one thing.
Well,
Yeah.
well, think about that. I mean, even like this whole thing, it's at the Dallas church of this happening and
Right.
so forth. But even that, is spoiled to be able to suck their thumb and go, oh, this is right, and I can do this, and and I have the right. You're like, if you are His,
Right.
if you are Jesus Christ, your life is not your own anymore.
Right.
And just like we were talking in the beginning of this episode, you know, His will, God, what do you want in every aspect of our lives?
Right.
And so the fact that there's churches in America doing this junk,
Right.
you know, while there are 70 Christians getting beheaded
Right.
in Congo,
Right.
you know, I'm like, really?
Really, the whole, you know, you get that and you go, man, that's just plain crazy. And sadly, like I said, it's going on in other churches. I know it's pretty well going on in that denomination there. That's full blown. I understand the United Methodists have gone down that path too, and that, which is sad, you know, because you have non-believers out there and they're seeing this and, you know, they're saying it's okay. Now, what I think that bothers me too is that you got all these so-called Christians out there aren't standing up and say, that's wrong, you know.
Do you think that's because there's so much confusion and people don't know the truth?
I think so. I think a lot of that, they don't know the truth.
Yeah.
And they buy into whatever, you know, some kind of TV evangelist or whatever, and they accept that as the truth. Well, it's got to be he's a man of God, you know. Not necessarily, you know,
Well,
a lot of false prophets coming down the road here.
I would even go as far as, you know, there was a decade or two where there were televangelists, and they're still quite rampant. You know, I listened to this little clip of T.D. Jakes the other day saying that he was telling the people there, man, what would I want to say it the way he said it, but basically, Adam, the way it happened worked out in the beginning, and how God created Adam and Eve. Adam was Eve's mama, because Eve came out of Adam. And you're like, oh, what? 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 You know, so there's obviously that, and more some. You know, Duplantis is still going
Right,
pretty
yeah,
strong with
pretty
his.
strong.
You know, I saw something the other day where he had a $860,000 watch on and all that stuff. But I would even say now, and because it is a little bit different, and with technology, because the televangelists use that technology.
Right.
But I would say even YouTubers in the influence spectrum, you know, because there's a lot of podcasts, there's a lot of YouTube channels out there, there's a lot of those type of things where even the apprentice of some of these churches and some of these people, they are using those platforms to get this confusion. Basically, you know, you take some of the things that's in the Bible and you you can use some of that, and the other things you can cut out because it doesn't fit your lifestyle.
Right.
You know, so there's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of those type of things out there.
Like, you know, pick out what will, you know, endorse your lifestyles, basically.
Yes.
You know, pick and choose kind of deal. It's kind of like one of our old buddies, Andy Stanley. You know, he's already said you can dismiss most of the Old Testament anyway, and he says, you know, science has basically proven that, you know, the earth didn't begin this way.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, you got this man here that's putting that stuff out there, and he's on TV, and he's got one of the biggest churches, I guess, in that down there in
Yeah, but
Georgia.
what message is he giving? It's things that are appealing to our flesh.
Right, all of it is. All that appeals to our flesh. It's going out there over the airways. Most of it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so, most people, if you're unsaved and you come into this, you're going, oh well, this sounds good to me. You know, yeah, I don't mind that. I can do that. You know.
Yeah.
And so
I
they
can do
never
that
get
to
to
do
the
my
truth.
thing.
Yeah, they don't get to the truth. You know.
Yeah, because truth hurts.
Right.
You know, that's not just some flippant statement that, you know, somebody, well, I'm just going to give you the truth. No, Bible, it does, when you get to actual God truth, it is countercultural.
Right.
You know, it is anti-human. It does hurt because it goes against the very fabric of our flesh.
Right.
And without it, we won't know who God is. We
Right.
won't know what He wants. And we can't have that fellowship with Him that He does desire for us to have. You know?
You got to be driven down to where you realize what a dirtbag you know.
Yeah.
That we are. I mean, it took me to that point to where, you know, wow, you know, there's no one good but God.
Yeah.
And I've never been good, so.
Yeah, exactly.
That, you know, that there wasn't anything of any value anyway, because I look at everything anymore as just temporary anyway.
Yeah.
You know, and a good book to want to read on that would be Ecclesiastes. It will tell you that, you know, all temporary. Doesn't matter if you leave it to someone, eventually somebody else will end up with it somewhere down the line as time
That's
passes for them, time moves forward.
That makes me think, should I go ahead and just run up some credit cards and stuff?
Yeah.
You know?
I'm on my way out the door here.
Yeah, why not? You know? It seems like it's the end anyway, so let's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. but anyway.
I know people that have that mentality. It's like, you know, I just forget it. I'll
It's
just...
crazy though, you know, but it's really sad because this stuff's been going on for decades, longer than that actually, in America, and why nobody really stepped up and said, no, you know, no, that guy's a fraud, you know.
Yeah.
That guy's a fraud.
I think there has been.
I think we accommodate people. Well, that's okay. That's what that denomination believes.
Yeah.
We believe this, and we don't. You know.
Well, in a way, probably that's okay because, you know, I mean, the whole idea of denominations, anyways.
It's crazy.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, what do we see in the Bible?
Right.
Now, we obviously have a stance, but we may not always have that stance by name because
Right.
of what goes on. So
Right.
I have a hard time, though, thinking that, you know, because of what they're doing at that Dallas church
Right.
will directly affect us on a big scale. Now,
Right.
obviously, if people are lumping up all Christians, and I use that term loosely, together, I could see that. But I still would hate for that to be an excuse for us to not actually go do the job.
Right.
You know, to actually go and tell people about Christ
Right.
and do all this stuff. I definitely would. I don't know. I'm kind of. I don't know.
Yeah. Really.
And reading this article even this morning puts me in a high alert of.
Yeah.
You know, what I'm doing and what kind of excuses that I'm throwing out there going, you know,
Well, so you talk about the thing in Dallas there. That's not the only one. We got one in Oklahoma City.
Oh,
It's
sure,
called
yeah.
Mayflower. It's
yeah, it's all over the place.
it's everywhere, and it's in every town probably to some degree. Some large, especially larger cities and everything.
Sure.
In our state, and people buy into it, and they get their information out there, and I don't know. It seems like they're kind of overrunning us, where we need to get the gospel out there, true gospel out there. Because,
Maybe if we're doing our job, we'll outnumber them.
eventually.
You know,
we could get there. But
and I mean outnumber them by people getting saved, being
right.
trained, being disciples, that type of stuff. The actual thing that Jesus said, this is what you need to do.
Because basically Christianity in America is kind of in shambles in a way, because you know it's a lot of people just love the tradition, you know. So they just want to go there on Sundays, and I was reading on that even that a lot of churches anymore don't even have a Sunday evening service or anything.
Sure.
And some of them don't even have Wednesdays. That they just meet on Sunday mornings, and that's it for the week. You know, they don't do anything else the rest of the week. Whereas this church here, you're doing something every night.
Yeah, there's something going
all
on
the time.
every night in different locations
Right.
all the time.
So you know,
Yeah.
so that's quite a difference there, and you're not finding that. Like I said, a lot of them are just saying, well, Sunday mornings, that's all we need. You know.
Yeah.
And,
Well, I think about that too. How even things going on every day, every night around here. Multiple things. So I think about that. I think, it is hard to do that because you yourself, whether like you're being a facilitator or being a participant in something like that, you have to give up your time, give up your. Maybe I could say in a sense, and you correct me, I don't know, but our fleshly desires
right.
to be able to do this.
Right.
And, there's less and less of that in, I would say, American churches. And,
Right.
but
It's in Europe too. You can
Yeah.
go to European churches because they're basically gone the same way as the ones here in the United
Sure.
States and Canada.
Well, and Sundays are a good, okay, I can feel good because I can go do my God thing.
Right.
And then
And
after
good for
that,
the
I'll
week.
put him in the box again until the next time I
Next
need him.
Sunday. Yeah, next
You know,
Sunday,
yeah.
whenever.
And so, yeah, but you don't have, if you see what the Bible talks about, and we teach that a lot around here, it's about, you look at the fellowship with God, the fellowship with each other, doing this together. I guarantee you, if you're out there doing the job, again, if you're being an evangelist, you're doing these things that he commands us to do, you're gonna need each other. You're gonna need, because we need that constant exhortation. We need constant prayer. We need all those type of
That's the purpose
stuff.
of the church in the first place.
That's right.
is to be together and working this together.
Yeah.
As one.
Yeah, because there's a specific word that stays in the front of my heart that with a lot of things that happen, and within church context and so forth. But Jesus said, "Ye." That's all of us.
Right.
That's all of us together, Right. And I find that even in my own life, just be a little transparent here. Even in my own life, there are things that I plan or would like to do, but then something comes up where there's a Bible study involved or something like that, and I have to set those things aside that I want to do this, not realizing and going in maybe sometimes begrudgingly in this, but at the end of it going, man, I'm glad I did that. I'm glad we were together. I'm glad we did this, and and so forth, because that's what it's meant to be.
There's power in numbers. You got 100. Let's say you got 100 people. It's spirit filled. Should have some effect.
Yeah,
if
absolutely.
They're working together, totally working together. You look at the first century. You look at Acts there. Like on the day of Pentecost. Peter gave up and gave a speech there. Next thing you know, 3,000 people were added to that church that day.
Yeah.
And that was the power of the Spirit of God working. The more people, I believe, that are really, truly Spirit-filled that will work together for that, you're going to have a better outcome than just leaving it to one man to do the job, because it's and the other 99 just sitting there watching him. So,
Yes. Yep.
so you're going to get a slow return on that, I think. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
it's crazy. I know.
It is absolutely crazy.
But American churches are that way. It's a Sunday, Wednesday kind of deal, and that's basically what, I guess that's why nobody really bothers Christians in this country.
Yeah.
Church is that building on the corner, And if you stay away from it, they won't bother you.
Yeah.
Which is true, you know, in more ways than one, you know. That works out that way. That's really sad. Let's see here.
Yeah. Well, let's wrap up here this episode. And did you have something to leave, or if not, I have something.
Well, what do you got?
Well, I want to share a song with you that has been a go-to for me for a little while. And not to sound like all the other little Christian podcasts out there, but we need reminders.
Yeah.
And there are times where life situations can be so overwhelming. And this song ends up popping up in my heart. And thank goodness for some technology in the sense where I can just pull it up and listen to it. But I don't know if you've ever heard of this guy. His name's Taylor Armstrong. And he writes a song, Where We Were Before. And I'll just play kind of a little bit of it. And then you can go, whoever's listening can go look at it. But it's all that's been kind of a go-to on my YouTube music. It's been at the top of the list there, a lot. So, but it's called "Where We Were Before" by Taylor Armstrong.
Is it easy to dance to?
It is not. Okay.
Take my hand, lead me back to the promised land. Walk with me where I don't understand what's going on around. 'Cause I just wanna be where you are, Lord. I give you my weary heart. Take me back to the very start, to where we were before.
So
That's sweet, man.
Yeah.
I like it.
it's a great song, great reminder of the God that can help, and He's there.
Right.
You know.
That's sweet. Well, this is Jimmy Nick.
And this is Phil.
Adios.
Next time.